2 spreadsheets, 1 sentence, and an AI agent turned it into this. This is 12 months of sales data and 200 customer records for a small coffee company. Most people would spend an entire afternoon going through this in Excel. I gave it to an AI agent and got a full business analysis in about 10 minutes, and it found trends I didn't even know that were there. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it step by step, and you're going to build the same thing with me using a fake business so you can follow along with the exact same data. This is part 3 of my Claude Code series. In part 1, we installed Claude Code and built a full app from scratch. Part 2, we learned how to build AI agents using Agentic workflows. Today, we're taking those skills and applying them in a real business problem. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll link them right up here and you can still follow along, but those two will give you the foundation for everything we're doing today. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Jamie and welcome to Teachers Tech. All right, let me introduce you to our fake business. This is Basecamp Brew Co. It's a small craft coffee company based in Canmore, Alberta. They sell coffee drinks, bags of beans, and some merch like mugs and t-shirts. They've got 3 physical locations, a downtown shop, a mall kiosk, and a farmer's market stand that runs in the summer, plus an online store. They've just finished their first full year of business, and the owner wants to know what's working, what's not, where should they focus on next quarter. Does this sound familiar? This is the kind of questions that a small business owner has, and most of them are staring at spreadsheets trying to figure this out manually. Here's what we're working with. A sales spreadsheet with over 600 transactions across 12 months. Every row has the date, product category, which location sold it, quantity, price, revenue, cost, and profit. And a customer spreadsheet with 200 customers showing when they signed up, where they came from, how many orders they've placed, and how much they've spent. I'll put both of these files down below in the description so you can download them and follow along with the exact same data that I have. Now, let's set up a project and let the agent do the work. If you've watched my Agentic workflows video, this setup is going to look very familiar. Same process. We're creating a Claude.md file and building a workflow. If this is your first time seeing these, don't worry, I'll walk you through everything. But if you want the deep dive on how Claude.md works and why it matters so much, that's all in part 2 with the link up here. And the other thing I just want to point out, I am using VS Code, so I'm using Claude Code as the extension in VS Code. In the other video, I also show how to set that up if you've never used it before. So let's get started with this. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just make a folder that this project is going to live in, and then I'm going to open that folder in VS Code. So I'm just in Documents, and this is where I'm going to put it. So I'm creating a new folder, and I'm going to call this Basecamp Brew Analysis right here. So I'm just going to close out of this. Then in VS Code, I'm just going to go to File and Open Folder. So where did we put that? I'm in my Documents. I'm just going to look for Basecamp Brew Analysis and select Folder. All right. We're almost ready to go. In the last video, we went through the process of creating the Claude.md file, but in this one, I'm not going to go through all those same steps, but I've already got one created for me right now, and I'll put that down below in the description as well. So I have it in a file, and you can download this. Once you have it, you can go ahead and just drag it in. So I'm going to be placing this in that project folder. So here we are. But let's go through this so you can just see what is in this. And I have, if you're new to this, with the pound sign, these are just headings just for myself to break it up so I can see what are the different parts. But I have the project context, and I explained what the Claude.md file does more in the previous video. But so this is a business analysis workspace for Basecamp Brew Company, a small craft coffee company. We're analyzing 12 months of sales and customer data. And about the business, I give it the information that I already told you about here. And then we have rules. These are really important. Always ask clarifying questions before start analysis, show your methodology and explain what you're looking for. Use actual numbers from the data, not vague statements. Format all dollar amounts with dollar signs, flag anything unusual, include specific recommendations, not just observations. Save all reports to the output folder. And so this is going to be the structure here. So it's going to be the resources, workflows, and output. And those folders are going to get created. And you'll see over here in the Explorer that we'll see that as it outputs, and we'll have our resources where we're going to put the data files. We're going to put the Excel spreadsheets in a moment, and we have our workflows, and then we have our output for our finished reports. So that's just the rundown of this Claude.md file. All right, I'm just back in the folder that I just created, the Basecamp Brew Analysis, and I'm going to create the resources folder in here, and that's where I'm going to put the spreadsheets. So let's go ahead and just create a new folder, and I'm going to call this resources. So now I just want to grab the spreadsheets that I have right here. So it's going to be sales and customer. So these are also, you'll download them, and then you can go ahead and go to your resources and put them in there. So now we can go build our workflow to create an agent for this business analysis. Let's go ahead and just save this Claude.md file. I'm just going to press Control S to save that up, and we can go ahead and open up Claude Code. I'm going to just go and close that out. And just like in the last video, we're going to plan first, build second. Let me switch into plan mode, and that's just putting together Shift and Tab. So I'm going to do it twice. Now you can see there is plan mode. So this will allow the agent can think and plan, but won't change any files. Now I'm going to describe what I want. I want to build a reusable data analysis workflow. When I point to a data file, you should ask me what I'm going to look for, check the data for any issues, analyze it thoroughly, find trends and patterns, flag anything unusual, and produce a clear report with specific recommendations. The report should include actual numbers, formatted tables, and a section at the end of the top 3 things that the business should do next. And I'll put this down below so you can copy paste this in. I'm going to go and hit enter, and let's watch what happens. It's asking me permission to read the customers, allowing for Python. So here's the plan, reusable data analysis workflow as we go through it. I'm not going to stop and read everything. I'm just going to kind of glance over. I can see that it's going to create the directories that I asked for. Preamble follows the phases in order, reads the Claude.md first. Intake and scoping is phase 1, confirm which data files, ask about the scope constraints, phase. So it's going to ask me lots of questions. That's what I want. Phase 2, data quality assessment, check for missing values. Yep, this is all looking good. If I wanted to change anything at this point, I would go ahead and tell Claude what. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to accept everything here. So I'm going to say yes and auto accept so it runs through without me manually approving the edits. I can see it's updating the to-dos here, so everything checks out, mapping Claude.md rules to the workflow. I have the folders created over here now. The workflow has 4 phases. To use it, point me at the data file. So I can just say analyze resources, sales data using the data analysis workflow. All right, so it looks like we're all ready to give this a try. Okay, as I mentioned, we have our folder set up. If I look inside resources, here's the Excel files that I put in before into it. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it this. Analyze the sales data in resources/sales data. This is 12 months of sales for the Basecamp Brew Company. I want to understand what's working, what's not, and what should we do for the next quarter. Now watch, the first thing it should do is ask me questions. And here we go. So we have metrics priority. Should I weight the analysis towards revenue, profit? You can see there's channel focus, there's next quarter, there's scope. Let me give some answers to this. This is how I'm going to answer it. And it's just like having a conversation. Give me all 3 compared, but lead with profit, since that's what actually matters to a small business, equal attention across all channels. But I feel that the mall kiosk might be underperforming, so keep an eye on that. Nothing planned for the next quarter yet. That's what this analysis is for. And go broad, hit all 6 lenses. I want the full picture. If something jumps out that deserves a deeper look, go for it. It's reading the spreadsheet, checking for data quality issues, and starting to break things down. I'm just going to speed this up and slow down things for interesting moments. Okay, so that took about 5 minutes in total, and we can have the link right here. I have the output. I opened it up here. You can see the file lives here. They give us a brief of some details here, but the report is going to be much more detailed. Let's go ahead and open this up. And this just is in Markdown. If you can right click up here, you can open in preview or use the shortcut Control Shift and V, and then it goes into preview. I'm just going to take a quick glance down at this to see some of the things that it's showing me. I can see that, we have our profit, our revenue, Bean subscription. One product drives 32% of all profit. Subscription volume grew 84%. Well, that's good to know. Let's go down. Key findings. Beans are the profit engine. What else? Cold brew is massively seasonal. Kind of thought that would probably be the case for there. We have our summer months being the peak ones. The mall kiosk isn't broken. It's just small. Yeah, so it's there's the mall kiosk here. I wonder when we get down to the recommendations, what it will say to do. Two channels drive 78.5% of the profit. So just now, we'll be able to run this over and over again. So it takes 5 minutes to get all this type of detailed into a report. Okay, let's go to anomalies and flags. So bean subscription quantity spike. We have November 2025, a cliff. So 58.3% month over month profit drop. So pull this out. I know I'm not spending a lot of details going over each of these. I'm just kind of glancing over it. Top 3 recommendations. Double down on the bean subscription. Build a winter product strategy to replace the seasonal cold brew. Increase average transaction size to the mall kiosk. So what do you think? If you were a business owner, would those be good recommendations? I'd be curious if you do try your own business information on the type of information it gives you back. But we're not going to be done there yet. So we have this other file here, the customer one here to take a look at. So let's go back and ask it to analyze that. All right, let's get the customer file examined here. So we're going to go tell it to analyze that file and cross-reference it with the sales data. I want to understand our customer base, especially who our best customers are and where they come from. Let's go and submit. So it already has context from the sales analysis, so it doesn't need to start from scratch here. Okay, we have our questions again right here. So just like before, best customers definition, should I rank total spend, profit, repeat one time? The customer data has a report customer, acquisition, channel analysis, cross-reference depth. Okay, let me think about this. I'm going to give it this an answer. Lead with spend and frequency together. That makes sense. Yes, definitely do the deep dive on repeat versus one-time customers. I want to know what makes someone come back. For acquisition channels, I want to know which channels produce higher value customers over time, not just raw numbers. And for the cross-reference, work with what's joinable and flag limitations. Now, that last point's going to be an honest finding, and it tells the business owner that they should start tracking customer IDs in their sales data going forward. Let's go and submit. So I can see it's reading the customer file and immediately connecting it to what it already knows from the sales data. So 5 minutes later, and as we click on this report, just think about 5 minutes and how long it would take you to go through all that data and to get these results that we're about to take a look at. Okay, we have our quick results here. I'm just kind of taking a quick look here. This is interesting. Farmers market punches above its weight. Oh, that's interesting to know. Okay, let's click on the report and let's go to preview. And taking a quick look at the executive summary, has a classic power law problem. 28% of customers generate 80% of all spend. Oh, that's interesting. As we keep going down here, like I want to get to the key findings here. So we have the median customer spends $33.52, gap between repeat and non-repeat. Online is the best customer acquisition channel here. Nearly double the repeat rate. Downtown shop acquires the most customers, has the lowest repeat. That's maybe because of foot traffic. I'm just trying to think of if I'm thinking in Canmore where it's just new people coming through all the time. If 10 of these 43 customers converted, like all these recommendations are giving, like taking that data, it's recommending these options that you can kind of think about if it's right for you or if it's not. I'm going to keep on looking. Oh, here's an interesting thing. So the downtown shop is the outlier repeat rate dropped 26%. This needs investigation. Is it a staffing issue, a product availability problem, or a shift in foot traffic quality? So it's pointing out all these possibilities. Here are some anomalies and flags. Repeat flag threshold at 5 orders. Downtown shop repeat rate declining. They have a person in here that it's connecting to. And customer file total spend here. So recommendations, launch a re-engagement campaign targeting the 43 single purchase customers, investigation and fix the downtown shop retention problem, and double down on the online customer acquisition. So I'm curious what you think of this report of like thinking about this only took 5 minutes. We had our agentic workflow go through and we can still tweak things in it. We can go back to whether it be Claude.md file over here or the workflow? Is there something that we need to adjust in there that will give us the better report? But that took 5 minutes. All right, let's go back and take a look at our sales data again. And I'm just going to go back in preview. So if I take a look at it, it's laid out. This is pretty solid, everything that we have in here, the tables and all the write-ups on it. But let's say if I wanted to change something, maybe around the channels, I want something a little different, that maybe showing me the channels, total revenue, total profit, number of transactions, and average order. So I can iterate on this. It's not going to start everything over again. It will just start where it has been and then continue and make the changes. So let's go back over here, and I'm going to say this, just what I just told you, add a comparison table showing all 4 channels side by side, total revenue, total profit, number of transactions, and average order value. Let's go submit this. So I can see it's opening up the sales data analysis. It's creating the chart here in the markdown. And it's done. So now we can go ahead, click back on this again. Let's go to our preview and go find that table. So here it is right here. So we have our channels, we have the revenue, the profit, the margin, the transaction, average order value. So just like that, I made an iteration on what I already had. So you can continue on asking it to pull certain information, create different tables of comparison, just having that conversation with your agent. Now, here's the part that makes this really powerful. Everything we built today is reusable next month. When the business has new data, you just drop that updated spreadsheet into the resources folder and tell it to run the data analysis workflow on the new sales data. It reads the workflow file, follows the same steps, asks the same clarifying questions, and produces a new report. Same quality, same structure every time. The Claude.md remembers the business context, the workflow file defines the process, and the agent's auto memory remembers things it learned from the previous sessions, like the fact that November had a supply issue or the farmer's market runs seasonally. So each time you run it, it's a little bit smarter about your own specific business. You built this once, it works every month. That's the whole part of agentic workflows. You invest time upfront to define the process, and then it pays off every time you run it. And this isn't just for coffee companies. This exact same approach works for any business with data. Swap out the Claude.md for your business context. Drop in your spreadsheets and the workflow handles the rest. E-commerce sales, client invoices, marketing metrics, survey results. The pattern is always the same. Let's bring it all together. We took 2 spreadsheets of raw business data, gave them to an AI agent, and got a complete business analysis with trends, anomalies, customer insights, and specific recommendations. No coding, no formulas, no pivot tables, just a Claude.md file with a workflow file in plain English. The key pieces, Claude.md for business context so the agent knows what it's analyzing and how you want things formatted. A workflow file that defines the analysis process step by step. Plan mode to design before you build, and letting the agent ask questions so it doesn't guess. If you've watched my Agentic Workflows video, you already knew this pattern. Today you saw it applied to a real business problem. And that's the point. The pattern works for anything: research, data analysis, content creation. Same 3 pieces every time. So here's my challenge. Take the 2 spreadsheets from the description, follow along with this video, build the analysis yourself, and then swap in your own data and see what it finds. I guarantee you will catch something that you missed. Drop a comment and tell me what the insights that the agent found in your data. Thanks for watching. I'm Jamie with Teachers Tech, and I'll see you in the next one.